Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike the intern, Ned Reynolds, in the studio on a Wednesday morning. The Chiefs have another big game Christmas Day at Arrowhead. Weather's looking okay. I think it's like 50-50 shot of rain, but at least it's in the high 50s, which is unseasonably warm, and I'm not going to complain about a little rain at Arrowhead on the day it could be a lot of snow. But Chiefs need to win out. That's the deal. Who's favored?
Well, in that one, the Chiefs are a big favorite. They go in as 10-point pick. This second week in a row now, they've been a 10-point pick. They were 10 points over the Patriots and won it by 10 points. The game now against the Las Vegas Raiders. Probably a different style game because I think probably Vegas has a little bit more offensive power than New England does, but probably not the defense. So it kind of evens out along the way. The Chiefs should fare pretty well. It is not really the big headline game, as you might expect. It is a noontime start, national television, all that sort of thing. The headline game, by nature of the schedule, happens to be the Monday night, Christmas night game, San Francisco, Baltimore, playing out at Levi Stadium. That may be, not a prediction, but it may be a Super Bowl preview. It is possible that it could be. Not sure that it will, of course. No, what's sure in life? Nothing. But the fact is that when they play, the 49ers will be just a little under a 6-point favorite in this game. That will be a hard-hitting contest, and one that's going to probably manifest itself into a key as to how the playoffs morph. But that's the big game on Christmas night, and it's San Francisco, Baltimore. The other game's Philadelphia, New York Giants.
And Philadelphia should take care of business there.
The way they're playing right now, I don't know.
Some questionable play calling in the game they played on Monday. But as far as the 49ers-Ravens game goes, if the Chiefs take care of business on Monday afternoon, then Monday night, we're all 49ers fans for one night only. All right. Not also great stuff we want to talk about in the morning, especially on my birthday, but very sad note this morning.
It is very sad indeed. One of the Chiefs' all-time greats and a stalwart of those teams in the 1960s and 70s, Big Ed Buddy, has passed away. He's only 83 years old, and to me, that's still young. Buddy was just a huge part of Kansas City's offensive line, which was one of the they were almost terrorists down there. They were so good. And it was our old buddy Kurt Murs was on that line as well. But this was a rock on the Chiefs' very first ever Super Bowl team, the first ever Super Bowl game, which was the Chiefs and the Packers in early 1967. He was a 14-time All-Pro, great All-America at Michigan State. And I remember him very well. He was playing at Michigan State when I was in college and then later in the Navy, and followed his career. Joined the Chiefs right around 63, 64, somewhere around there. And played with Kansas City his entire 14-year career. He was a big guy, 6'5", and about 270, somewhere around there. His son was an outstanding All-America player at Southern Cal, Brad Buddy, and this is just a shame. But the Chiefs announcing that Ed Buddy has passed from the scene at the age of 83.
He was a big part of the kingdom and played in a time when the game was more about men being men. So he definitely will be missed, but what an incredible career, an incredible life. There is a lot of thoughts about who should have been the football coach of the year. Your thoughts on who they actually selected?
Chose the right guy, in my opinion. This is the Associated Press, which is the paragon of all the sports rankings, number one, and all the sports All-Americas, number two. And the Associated Press has chosen Kalen DeBoer, the second-year head coach at Washington. All he did was take his team to an undefeated record, and they're still undefeated going into the Sugar Bowl game when they play Texas. Final Four team. Washington, a really, really good ball club. They play, as I mentioned, the Longhorns. But DeBoer is, while he's young, he's not a newcomer to the coaching scene. He had 3 NAIA national champions at Sioux Falls, which is a power in the NAIA football ranks. Had 3 there, went on to the college teams, had big success in a very brief time. Fresno State, very good coach out there for a couple of years. Then when the Washington job came open in 2021, he went right there and took him over, and in his very brief time there, has made the Washington Huskies into a very good football team. This is a truly good coach, Kevin DeBoer, and he gets the AP Coach of the Year.
The basketball Bears played on the court last night. How was that game here in town?
You knew it wasn't going to be very much, and that not an insult at all, but Lindenwood, who they played from the St. Louis area, is only in its second year of D1 competition. They play in the Ohio Valley Conference, and they are allowed to play in the Ohio Valley Conference Championship, but they are not allowed to play in the NCAA tournament nor any postseason competition. You have to be D1 for 4 years, and this is only Lindenwood's second year. Well, the Bears are pretty good. They unloaded on this team 79-57. Alston Mason had 34 points to lead the Bears. That's a career high for him. And really, Missouri State didn't really have all that much of a challenge. They just shut down this team with that solid defense. That is the way the Bears wanted to come back after a very tough-to-swallow loss to Tulsa on Saturday by 1 point in the final seconds of the game, 73-72. Bears had to be down. They needed something to pump them up. So Saturday they go out to Moraga, California to play St. Mary's. St. Mary's plays in the same conference with Gonzaga and is preseason favored to beat Gonzaga. I don't think that's going to happen, but St. Mary's is pretty good nonetheless. St. Mary's played Middle Tennessee State last night out in California. Oh boy. 71-34 was the final score. St. Mary's, folks, is a pretty good basketball team. I watched a little bit of the game, not a whole lot, because it was late at night being in California, but the fact is that that'll be a nice little challenge for the Bears. If they can beat St. Mary's, the Gales, out of Moraga, that will be a huge feather, but that's also a big if.
And it's definitely going to show you what kind of Bears team we truly have this year. The true games at Drury as well. How'd the men and women do?
Supposed to be 2. Turned out to be only 1. The men played in the afternoon or late afternoon against Southern Arkansas and just did squeeze by 72-68. Southern Arkansas came in with a losing record, but they gave Drury fits. In fact, they were ahead of Drury for much of the game. Drury caught them in the end. 72-68 was the final. The ladies' game was not played, and that's too bad because from a competitive standpoint, it was one we were all looking forward to, the Lady Panthers against Missouri Southern. And Missouri Southern, real good team, but never played because Drury couldn't field a team. Had illness and injuries and couldn't have enough players, so the game was, this is the key, was postponed. It was not canceled. So somewhere along the line, they will try to make it up. It's on conference, of course. Missouri Southern is MIAA, and the Drury Ball Club is GLIAC. But the fact of the matter remains that they did not play the game, so there was only one at the O'Reilly Family Event Center.
It doesn't happen too often where a team gets so sick they had to postpone, but it kind of shows you all the sicknesses that we've been dealing with around here. A lot of people getting it, and sucks when it happens. Despite the media trying to do everything they could to get Aaron Rodgers back on the field up to 2 weeks ago, he's finally come out and said, I don't think I'm ready just yet.
And the fact that the Jets were eliminated last week from title competition, he said, hey, why take a chance? And this is the right call. There's no question about that. Coming off Achilles tendon surgery in September and trying to come back now? Oh, my. Well, the Achilles tendon surgery was apparently of a different variety, and the injury may not have been a complete tear as such. But nonetheless, to come back from something like that when it takes a year to recover under normal circumstances, why chance it? Why play just for the ego standpoint? So Aaron Rodgers said, no, 40 years old, I'll try to come back next year, and we'll see what happens. Good call on his part.
Good call, one of the few good calls he's made in his life, but if he's looking towards the future, getting back out on the field, especially at MetLife, to get injured one more time is probably not the best call. Ned, you have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow.